Here's a little poem that I had on YouTube, and it came off, unfortunately, due to a computer glitch. And I feel I have to put it back on again. Now, this is a poem that I'm not very proud about, but I have to put it on. And I also have to show my face in this poem because I need to stand up and tell it like it is. Something I should have done way back in 1981. The poem is simply called Divorce. Divorce can often be a very, very traumatic thing. No one in the world knows that any more than me. I know firsthand of all the pain and sorrow and suffering that a divorce can often bring. And I know how devastating to a family a divorce can very often be. I'm totally responsible for the divorce I caused back in 1981. And the guilt and shame I feel keeps on haunting me. Back then, I never admitted to anything I'd done. But I hope that by doing so now, that the truth will finally set me free. Back then, I cheated with another man's wife, and that's something no man should ever do. For not only will it destroy you and your family's life, very often it'll destroy the life of the other man's family too. I put a great big wound in my family's heart, just as if I'd stabbed them with a knife. And the pain went very, very deep. And because of the guilt and shame I feel, twice I tried to take my life. And for many years thereafter, I often cried myself to sleep. As we waited for our divorce to come, my wife and I, we rarely spoke together anymore, and we slept in separate beds at night. And I realized back then that I'd never had the loving family that I had before. And I knew I could never get forgiveness. I could never make things right. Then finally came the day of the divorce, for which my wife had eagerly awaited. But it was also a day which neither one of us ever thought we'd see. And the judge very quickly granted us a divorce. Now was absolutely, totally devastating. But I knew that it was all my fault. And I knew that this beautiful lady that I cheated on could no longer live with me. And I often think of all the tears my wife and family cried over that divorce back in 1981. So I accept full responsibility for causing that divorce because I committed adultery, I cheated and I lied. And I can only ask forgiveness from my ex-wife and my loving family for the evil things I've done. God forgive me.